YouTube! All right. Welcome back, y'all, to the best YouTube channel there is. No, I'm kidding. Hey, thanks for tuning in again for another episode of Stimulus Updates. I will be talking about mostly the third stimulus check. Do know that $600 stimulus checks are still going out due to closed bank accounts. So be on the lookout for those. Appreciate all my loyal subs, all my new subs, all my views, all my comments, everything. It's all positivity. Much love to you. Appreciate it. Anyway, y'all, it looks like the House is going to try to get this to a vote quickly. They are now, they're on break, but Nancy Pelosi did say you may be called back for a vote. So be prepared. She did thank them for making their schedules available through all of this. Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate it. It does look like they will use one of their reconciliation votes, one of their 9 reconciliation votes, if the Senate Republicans do not get on board with either the $1.9 trillion bill that Biden proposed or something similar to that. Basically, Nancy Pelosi said that yesterday in a press statement. So it does look like, it's looking like for individuals making $75K or less, you will receive most likely the $1,400 stimulus check. Married filing jointly, I think it will stay at $150. Anything over that, you're out. Same thing with individuals. If you're a penny over $75K, it's over. You're not going to get anything. As I said, it was $5 off for every 100 you made over $75K. Same thing applied to married filing jointly, $150K. That's going to piss off millions of Americans. We know that, right? So if you're making $76K, you're off by $1,000, or you make $75,500, $75,250, $75,100, you're out. I don't know why they're going to do that. They ought to just freaking keep it the same way, right? I do know that 56, I'm drawing a blank who they were. They basically wrote into Biden and said, look, the American people need more than just a one-time check, another one-time check. How about we do monthly payments until, I can't remember what the date was. Forgive me for my lack of knowledge today, but who cares? What it's saying is let's get some more payments out, but that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. Biden's not going to go into more of a deficit. It's a great idea, but I don't see it happening. But I do see the Democrats having to use one of their 9 reconciliation votes to get this bill through, and get it passed, get it through the Senate, get it up to the president, get it signed, and get the checks out. Biden did sign an executive order asking the Treasury to update their systems. He recommended updating the payment system to where you can basically get in and update your information so you can get your payment. There is some other recommendations he made. So I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why the IRS started kicking out these closed bank account checks. They started reissuing. Because remember, they originally said that I think it was January 8th, that they will not reissue payments. They didn't have time. Due to the January 15th cutoff date, they just did not have time to reissue payments, and therefore they were not going to do that. All of a sudden, a lot of my viewers are starting to see that their payment is going to go out February 2nd. So hopefully that applies to everybody. It's kind of a waiting game at this point. If your check goes out February 2nd, you could see it the following week, maybe the next week. I don't know how long it'll take. I know that checks that were mailed out January 6th, people started to receive them the 16th and are still receiving them of January. So it's a good thing. It's positive for the people that really need the money, especially if you've got kids. If you're a single dad or single mom with a couple kids, it's $1,800 that you could definitely use. $600 you could use. The $1,400 you could definitely use. So I do believe that will go out. Stay tuned for that. Chuck Schumer said the same thing. If they have to use a reconciliation vote, they will. I think Biden will back that. I'm sure he wants to bipartisan from the Republicans, but there's just too many that are against it. They don't want to see more stimulus money go out. They just, for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Which is a crock of shit because they don't stop getting paid. They're making big money. I think Nancy Pelosi makes like $350K a year. You know what I mean? But she's not one of the ones, obviously, she's behind this. But a lot of the Republican senators make a lot of the same damn money. They make big money. So they don't have nothing to worry about. They've got cars, they've got expense accounts, they've got all kinds of stuff. So just get back behind it and back these millions of Americans that you say you're fighting for. Quit it. In other news, the military has changed their guideline for females. They can now wear earrings. They can have their hair highlighted. They can have their nails painted. There's some other guidelines that have changed. However, the men cannot wear long hair. They can't wear a beard. So all the men's grooming standards have basically stayed the same. It's kind of sexist if you ask me. They're talking about, basically diversity and inclusion and equality. There's no inclusion there. What's equality about that? You do for one, you do for one sex, you should do for the other, right? If the women can do more, then the men should do more. I don't agree with facial hair. You can't wear a little mustache. It's got to be trimmed. You got to have your hair, I think 6 inches off the collar. I can't remember, but I'll never agree with facial hair. I see a lot of law enforcement officers wearing beards now. I don't like it. It doesn't look professional. A lot of them don't keep them trimmed and neat. In corrections, when I first started, you could have a beard, and then they took it away in 2015. And then I want to say they brought it back in like 2017 where you could have facial hair again. The reason they took it away is because people were growing their beards out crazy. They were growing their goatees all long and thick. They weren't keeping them trimmed and neat. It was just a mess. So, you could wear facial hair, but there is a policy and a guideline to it. You got to keep it a certain length. You got to keep it trimmed. So anyway, I know I'm getting off topic here, but in other news, obviously the inmates, if you paid attention, they were captured yesterday in Coolidge, Arizona, in a field by the marshals, U.S. Marshals and Coolidge PD. There was a gentleman driving by, spotted them. They were still in their orange ADC issued pants and the thermal underwear. They're issued their white thermal. They were still in that. Pants were dirty as hell, but the citizen did call in 911. He had to basically convince the 911 operator that was them. They did get out there. They did catch up to them, tased them both. They are now back in custody. It was a total of 110 man hours. They were gone. So there's a lot to still find out about that. Where were they staying? How the hell did they get out? We know how they got out. They pushed an AC unit down, they knocked the wall down, and then they cut through the fence with bolt cutters. But how did that happen? There's a lot of security measures in the prison. Like I said, I've never been to South Yard in Florence, Arizona, but I've been to a lot of the other yards. So I don't know. Was it an inside job? Did a staff member let it happen? Who knows? On a Saturday, and then right after they got out, shortly after, they tried to rob a nearby hotel in Florence. I think they were unsuccessful. So, I don't know. Seems like some dirtiness going on to me. However, if you're just joining me again, I do believe the $1,400 checks will go out. I do believe the House they will use one of their reconciliation votes, one of the 9 that they can utilize, because I don't think the Senate Republicans are going to be on board with it. But with the Democratic Party and the majority in the House and the Senate, and obviously the presidency, they're going to obviously lose out on that one. If you still had Mitch McConnell as the House or the Senate Majority Leader, it would be a different story. But it is no longer him. It is Chuck Schumer. So thanks for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.